FFA, what's up, everybody? Good morning as we jumpstart this week. I don't know about you guys, but we're snowed in here in North Carolina. We've got about an inch of snow, which means that everything is closed down, including schools and everything else. So hopefully this ice melts and we can get back to normal here. But I hope you guys had a phenomenal weekend. Shout out to all of you who went big last week. Make sure you check out the company Facebook page and the WhatsApp here shortly to check out the leaderboards for last week. It's crazy to think, guys, what are we going into the last week of January already? I feel like we just started this year and here we are now wrapping up the first month. So couldn't be more excited to see who is taking home Agent of the Month and just couldn't be more excited to jumpstart this year after the year that we had last year. On today's call, guys, we're going to talk about objections. And I know you guys have been asking for this call for a while. You wanted a PDF, you wanted a PowerPoint. So I'm going to dive into the most common objections that you're going to run into as a life insurance agent and then how to beat those. But before we do that, let's talk about the verse of the day to kick off this week, which is "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Matthew 6:21. This verse directs our mindset. It directs our life. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. What are you focused on going into this Monday morning? All right, are you focused on prosperity, peace, happiness, right? Or are you focused on it being Monday, it being cold outside? All right, maybe your kids are driving you crazy this morning because they're not in school. What are you focused on, right, guys? We got to be careful as we navigate this life to make sure that we're following the path that we actually want to end up on, right? What do you spend the majority of your time thinking about? What do you spend the majority of your time doing? All right, that's where your heart's going to be. So going into this week, if you want to have a phenomenal week, set your sights on his path and his direction for you. So let's jump right into this, guys. Objections. Now, these are in no particular order, but I was just thinking about just the most common ones that you run into as an agent. If you're a brand new agent, all right, you might feel overwhelmed with the amount of objections you're getting, but check it out. After 2 weeks of doing this job, you're going to have seen pretty much 99% of the objections that you will ever see. And guys, this job is so much easier on you when you figure out the right way to handle objections, to handle your clients' concerns, and to be able to defend yourself, right? And to be able to ultimately help them out. After this call, I want you guys to go into the field, go into your dialing sessions prepared, right? Because if you say the same thing to these objections, you're going to get the same result. And you're going to see that pretty much every one of your clients generally has one of these objections. And if you learn how to beat them, it's going to make your job so much easier. So these objections are in no particular order. I know last week, on Wednesday's call, if you were with me on Wednesday, we really dove into the door approach objections. So I'm not going to hit all of those all over again, but I did throw in a few of them. So let's talk about the biggest one for new agents working aged leads, or even experienced agents working aged leads. The "I don't remember" objection. All right. How many of you have gotten this last week where, heck, you might have been working a brand new lead and you show up, right? Or you call them and they say, "I don't remember doing that." Okay, guys, why does somebody say this? Number one, if it's an age lead, they honestly might not remember requesting your help. And maybe they don't remember it because they fill out every lead card that they get in the mail that they don't remember which one this was. Maybe they're a chronic shopper, all right, where they don't remember what they filled out because every time they get something, they fill it out. New roof, new HVAC, life insurance, cell phone, car warranties. Maybe they're just that person that asks for everything, right? So guys, this objection seems to stump agents because we have a false idea that because we bought a lead, they should remember it. And when we call them, they should just say, yes, I need the life insurance. Unfortunately, that's not the way sales works, right? It just doesn't happen that way. So don't be expecting that. All right. The way that you beat the I don't remember objection is you just laugh it off with them, right? Miss Betty, no problem. Look, I don't even remember what I did yesterday either. I'm going to go get those final expense benefits out of my car. I'll be right back. Is my car okay parked right there? Right? Or if you're doing telesales and you're on the phone and they say, well, I don't remember doing that. The best way you can overcome this objection on doing telesales is completely ignore it. Ryan, I don't remember doing that. Okay, Mr. Jack, hey, no problem. But look, most people request this for one of three reasons. They don't have coverage and they need it. They already have coverage, and depending on what they have, they may be entitled to more at a less amount, right? Or potentially a discount on what they're paying. Or they were looking for a dedicated plan. Maybe they have a specific loved one they want to leave money to, legacy money, or they need a burial or cremation plan. Which one of these is you? Right? I ignore it on the phone and just jump past it. So guys, don't get hung up on I don't remember. Don't be surprised if you buy a bunch of leads. You bought a bunch of leads yesterday, right? And they're less than 30 days old, and you show up or call them today and they tell you that they don't remember doing it. That's just the way it works. Think about if you would remember. If you filled something out online 60 days ago, would you remember what it was? Probably not. All right. So guys, laugh this objection off and don't take it too seriously. All right. So that's the first one. Let's jump into the second one. I already have coverage. All right. Now, if you're a field agent and you're getting this at the door, your door approach is very bad. All right. So here's a secret for you. If every door that you knock on, you do a door approach and they say, I already have coverage, I'm good. Is this about life insurance? I already have it. Your door approach needs work, okay? Because you are definitely setting yourself up to get that. I don't ever get this objection at the door, surprisingly, but it's because of how I do my door approach. All right, so that's number one. If you're on telesales and you get this objection, you just roll with it, just like the I don't remember objection, right? So guys, I love this objection. When I was a new agent and I would put my foot in my mouth, right, at the door, and they would come out and say, oh, is this about insurance? Is this about whatever, XYZ? And then they say, oh, I already have that. I already have coverage. I used to get stumped. I used to think, well, okay, I can't help you. Let me move on to the next person. Guys, the best clients are the ones that already have coverage. They took it out through the mail. They took it out on the phone. They took it out with the agent they don't even know, right? They don't even know what they have. I love this objection when I became an experienced agent because it immediately told me they're used to paying for it. They value it. They've already bought it once. And if they've already bought it once, there's a high likelihood that they're going to buy it again. Think about all the things you buy. Chances are you buy the same brand of milk. You buy the same type of food at the grocery store. Bread, all right? You probably have a specific kind of bread that every time you go in the grocery store, you buy that piece of bread. If you've bought something in the past, you are much more likely to buy it again in the future. So once I figured this out, when people told me I already have coverage, I instantly smile. And I say, perfect, Miss Betty. Hey, most people do. You're going to make my job so easy today because you have that. You should be entitled to some extra benefits. I'm going to go cut my car off. I'll be right back. And I'm excited. I'm excited to review that plan. Let's talk about what not to do when you get this objection, either on the phone or at the door. I already have coverage. Perfect, Miss Betty. How much are you paying? What company do you have? How much coverage do you have? You start asking these questions and you are never going to overcome this objection because Miss Betty's going to tell you that she's paying $10 a month for $100K in coverage. Long and behold, you review it and she's paying $10 a month for $1,000 in coverage, right? You guys have all ran into that situation. But if you ask open-ended questions that they can come back and give you definitive answers for, you're never going to be able to overcome that. So don't take the bait on this. All right. Some of you guys, when you get hit with, I already have coverage, you're instantly trying to replace what they have, and you don't even know what it is. You're standing at their doorstep, right? So you can't take the bait too early. Just agree. Perfect. I'm so glad that you have it. Make my job so much easier today. I'm going to go cut my car off. I'll be right back. Simple, to the point. Don't take the bait, and you're going to overcome. It's going to become your favorite objection. If somebody tells me they already have coverage at the door, I instantly know that I've just closed the deal. Pretty much. If it's ethical for me to close the deal, I've already closed it. All right. I'm not even in the house yet. So get good at this one, guys. It's going to become your favorite objection. Let's talk about this one. Now isn't a good time. I know I'm going quick on you guys today, but I want to get through these for you before we hit our time limit here at 9:30. So you can go back and watch this on the YouTube channel. If I'm going too quick, you can go back and listen to what I say. But let's talk about this. Now isn't a good time. Look, it might really not be a good time. Is it ever a good time for a stranger to show up at your door that you weren't expecting, or for a stranger to call you on the phone that you weren't expecting and go over insurance? Probably not. All right. It's never a good time. So you should be expecting this objection, guys. You shouldn't agree with them that it's not a good time, because check it out. It's never going to be a good time. People are busy. People have things to do. People generally don't have just time to just sit around and wait for random people to show up and start talking to them. It's not the world we live in, right? We're always go, 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 go. So it's never a good time. All right. And you have to be expecting this as a salesperson. Don't be expecting your client to pick up the phone and be like, yep, now's a perfect time to talk to you for 40 minutes on my life insurance and do an application. Probably not going to happen. If you knock on the door, they're not going to answer the door and say, I'm so glad that you showed up today because I have nothing to do and I would love nothing more than to sit down and talk about insurance. That's not going to happen, guys. So now isn't a good time is a tough objection to beat, but it's probably the most common one that you're going to get. All right, so how do we overcome it? Number one, the only time I'm accepting this as truth, okay, is if I'm doing telesales and they answer the phone and I can hear just nothing but chaos in the background. Kids screaming, like things getting thrown against the wall. Miss Betty's clearly at a party watching her babysitter. Maybe she's in the grocery store. She's beeping her horn at the person in front of her. Okay, now's not a good time. I'll accept it. I'll call her back. If I'm in the field and I go to knock on, Miss Betty's door, and I notice her car's running, and she's walking out of the door as I'm walking up to it with her coat on, and she's getting ready to leave. Understood. Now is not a good time. I'm going to come back. All right. But if I knock on that door and there's like the TV playing in the background, she's in her PJs right here. He's in his PJs, whatever. Or he's sitting down having coffee. It's a perfect time to talk about insurance, right? They're not going anywhere. Where do they go? Most people, guys, that we talk to, they travel like once or twice a week. And other than that, they're just at home chilling. So when they say, hey, now isn't a good time, my reply back is super simple. Mr. Jack, look, I know it's not a good time. I've been so busy myself too. Hey, tell me about that car you have parked out front. Did you restore that thing? What did I do, guys? I have a target. This is what I was teaching you guys on Wednesday. Every time I go to a door, I have a target, okay, of what I'm going to pivot to if they hit me with an objection that is very difficult to overcome. And this is one of those, somebody that just doesn't want to talk to you. What do I want to do? I want to get them talking. When somebody hits you with now isn't a good time, there's somebody that can shut you down. They're not afraid to tell you no. All right. So you have to lower the guard and make them want to talk to you. Okay. You can't come back on this objection and say, I know I'm busy too. You're busy. Let's just go over it real quick. It'll only take 5 minutes. Guys, if you're saying things like it'll only take 5 minutes at the door, amateur. All right. You're putting your foot in your mouth because you and I both know it's not going to take you less than 5 minutes to go over this and make a sale. So don't do that. The key is to flip this and make them want to talk to you almost to the point that you have to get them to stop talking because you have things to do today and you're the busy one. All right. So what do? I pick a target. There's always a target in the field. If you're doing telesales, hey, this is a tough one. You better get ready to call this person back. But if you're in the field, there's always something you can pivot to. There's kids' toys on the porch. Their landscaping is nice. They just painted their house. They've got a brand new car sitting in the driveway. There's a tractor sitting in the yard. Whatever it is, right? I'm picking something that I know they like. There will always be a clue. I go up to Miss Betty's house and her flowers are just beautiful, right? You can clearly tell that she likes planting flowers all over the place. Soon as she says, hey, now isn't a good time, I'm immediately saying, Miss Betty, tell me about these flowers. How do you keep these things alive? I can't do that. I can never keep them alive. Before you know it, Miss Betty's talking to me about 10 minutes about her flowers, which I'm actually interested in, right, guys? This is the key. You have to genuinely like talking to people. You have to genuinely want to inquire about somebody's likes, right? So next thing I know, 10 minutes goes by. She's telling me all about these flowers. And now I'm like, okay, I got to get my presentation in, right? Time's running low here. So I'm saying, look, Miss Betty, I'm so sorry. I get to talking. I forget I'm working sometimes. Let's go over these benefits real quick and sit down. When I do that, I, knock on wood, don't think I've ever had a client who has told me now isn't a good time, come back and tell me again, now isn't a good time. They just talked to me for 10 minutes. They like me now. They want to talk to me. Now we can have the presentation. So make sure, guys, that you're not just cutting this objection under the rug. Now's not a good time. Okay, Ms. Betty, well, it'll be 3 minutes. It's not going to be 10 minutes, 3 minutes. It's going to be an hour that you're going to be with Miss Betty. Get her to like talking to you first. Pick that target. You'll overcome this objection every single time. Very, very rarely do I not overcome this objection. But there are some clients that just no matter what you try to talk about, they're like, I'm not interested. Get off my door. Close the door. It's going to happen, guys. That's the name of the game. So shake it off and go on to the next one. All right, next objection. I don't like auto draft. Okay, we're going to jump into some that you actually are going to get in the house, in the presentation. This is one that we used to get pounded with in like 2018, 2019, 2020. Now in 2026, I really don't see this objection come across that much. Most people understand that they have to auto pay things. Most people actually want to auto draft things, but you will run across some people who do not like giving their bank account information out to anybody. And the reason for that is they've got scammed in the past. They've given it. Next thing you know, that someone's taking money out. They got to close their account, whatever the case is, right? So, guys, this bank account objection is one that you just don't need to take so seriously. All right. If Mr. Jack tells you, hey, look, I don't want anything auto pay. I don't give my bank account out to anybody. I'm just going to be a normal person and say, why? Like, look, Mr. Jack, I totally understand, you'd be afraid of that. Did something happen in the past? Like, did your account get hacked or something? I want to figure out, why does he not want to do this? Is it because of a past experience? Is it because he doesn't trust me? Maybe I've done this whole presentation and he really doesn't even like me, doesn't trust me. And that's the reason he's not giving this out, right? Maybe Miss Betty gives her account out to everybody to the point that she did get scammed. And now her son is like, Mom, don't give your account out to anybody. All right. So maybe that's why she doesn't want to auto draft. I just want to figure out why. If I don't know why, I can't fix the problem for her. Right. So I want to figure out why does she not like auto draft? And then I want to take that objection, agree with it, relate to it, but then ultimately show her why this is a non-option. Okay. And it's just by explaining things. Miss Betty, look, I totally get why you wouldn't want to do that. You've been scammed in the past. We all have been scammed in the past. But look, I know you said you like sending checks out. Do you know every time you put that check in the mail, your routing and account number and your name and your address are on that and anybody can open up your mail? This is way safer. You plug this into the insurance company, it's encrypted. Nobody can ever see it but the insurance company. It's way safer than doing that. So I know protecting your account information is very important to you. This is the best way to do that. Go get me a voided check real quick, and I'm going to get this set up for you. Easy. All right, guys. Now, also with this, let's talk about the fact that insurance companies don't allow you to just send in a payment each month. Some do, very few do. But if you're going to send in a payment, you have to pay 3 months of premiums at a time. How many people on Social Security on a fixed income can pay 3 months worth of their bills at one time? Not many people can do that. All right. So I'm going to tell Miss Betty, hey, Miss Betty, look, with none of the insurance companies even allow people, okay, to send in money like that monthly anymore. Most of them don't do that. Because what happens if you go in the hospital? You're in a coma, you're in an accident, you're in a nursing home, you're physically unable to send in that payment, and your policy lapses when your family needs it the most. You know how much that happens? You know how many people go into a hospital for 4 weeks, don't pay their life insurance, it's in a lapse status, and then something happens and they've had insurance for 10 years, but all of a sudden they don't have it anymore? It happens all the time. So they make your bank send the money off for you. It's very protected. Go get a voided check or an old bank statement for me. I'm going to get that set up for you. Explain the process, guys. Now, if you're an agent, you're getting hit with this objection a lot. It's because of the way you're asking for the information. So when I'm going through the application, I am never going to say, all right, Miss Betty, what's your routing and account number to your bank account? Like, she just met you 30 minutes ago. That is a horrible way to ask for payment information. All right. So you got to ease your way into this one and explain why you're asking this stuff. Okay. Don't just give me all your stuff. Right. So you got to say, hey, look, Miss Betty, these life insurance programs, when you're on a monthly billing cycle with them, in case you're ever in a hospital, accident, coma, you're physically unable to call in or get a money order or pay it in, right? To make sure your insurance stays active and it stays in good standing, they're going to match this, all right, to what day you want to get paid. And then they're going to work with your bank to make sure it's paid automatically for you all the time. Just a safety provision that they have on these things. Go get your voided check or a bank statement. I'm going to get that set up for you. Guys, saying go get a voided check or an old bank statement is a lot less invasive way to get the routing and account number than just saying, what's your routing and account number, right? Also, as an agent, you legally are supposed to verify that that account is that person's and you see the account numbers, right? Guys, the worst thing you can do is help a client out. You ask them that, they give you some numbers which are not right. How many people remember that number? And then you get a return draft payment. You want to verify that information. All right. So you got to verify it anyway. Just ask them to go get it for you. All right. That's the way you overcome this objection, guys. And at the end of it all, if your client trusts you and they want what you're offering, this should not be an objection. All right. It's just the way you're asking about it that you're setting yourself up to get this objection. All right. So that's the auto draft. Hey, if I have a hard charger who just doesn't matter, Mr. Jack's paid everything with checks his whole life, he's not budging on this, chances are Mr. Jack can afford to do 3 months at a time because he's somebody that's smart with his money. So I'm fine writing it up quarterly billing. Give me a 3-month check. I'm going to send that thing into the insurance company when it gets approved. I'm good with it, right? As long as I get that payment when I write the plan. All right. I'm not just going to write it, put it on quarterly billing and hope he sends it in at some point in time. So Do this the right way, guys, and you're going to retain clients. Okay, we got a few more. Let's talk about this one. I have insurance through work. How many of you guys have got hit with this objection and you just get stumped? Right? You're working with somebody that's still working. They've got insurance through work. It's so cheap. Listen, the worst way you can beat this objection is by trying to tell them not to have it through work. Who cares if they have extra insurance through work? The way that I'm beating this objection is I'm just going to look kind of shocked, right? Okay, I have insurance through work. Oh, wow. So you don't have a private plan yet? You don't have your own plan yet? Like, you don't have your own plan yet. When you say that to somebody, they're going to be like, what do you mean? No, I don't have my own plan yet. You almost say it in a way where you're like, this is an issue. You only have work insurance. You don't have your own yet. So guys, this is important because people don't understand what they have through work. It's just like talking to a veteran who thinks that they have, paid for life insurance through the VA. Like, no, you don't. Not unless you're paying for it with them. So how does this work, guys? Any insurance through work that an employer is paying a part of is going to be group term insurance for the most part. Every now and then, all right, you do meet some people that are like paying a UL through work or whatever. But generally speaking, it's going to be term insurance for their salary. That's all that it is. And they're not paying a lot for it each month. So it's simple. Hey, Mr. Jack, that insurance through work's awesome. It's there when you're working. When you don't work, it's not there no more, right? So the best thing that you could do is have a private plan that you own that's not dependent upon your work. What if you get laid off, right? What if who knows what happens? What if COVID happens again and jobs go away? Who knows, right? You got to have your own private plan. I'm going to get that fixed for you and see what you're entitled to. That's all I'm saying, guys. I'm not trying to replace their work insurance. Let them have it. All right. It's generally inexpensive, but it's not their plan. They don't own that plan 9 out of 10 times. All right. And guys, the last, I'm mentioned one thing on this one. You ever meet somebody like that work for the state? Maybe they're a teacher, maybe they're this, that, and they're retired now. And they tell you that they're retired and they have a paid up life insurance plan. That might be true. Okay. A lot of people that work for the state, whatever, they do get paid up life insurance plans upon retirement if it was a part of their package. But generally, they don't really know how much it's for, and they don't know much about it. So just, guys, they're not paying for it. Who cares, right? Awesome. That's extra money for your family as backup insurance. We could probably both agree you need more than that, right? And then you just go about it that way. So life insurance through work, no big deal, guys. You can overcome that. The infamous, I need to think about it. Okay, I need to think about it. What does somebody need to think about? If somebody tells you, I need to think about it, it's probably because they don't know if they want what you have. What do you need to think about if all of your questions have been answered, if it matches your budget, if you agree that it's important to you? There's nothing you need to think about. Okay, think about this storm that hit North Carolina. People were flooding to the grocery stores to buy bread, water. I went to Lowe's Foods in Pittsburgh, and all of the water cases were sold out, right? All of it. People didn't sit there and think, a storm's coming. I have no water. I need water. Let me think about it before I buy it. No, they just drove there and bought it because they were urgent. This is how this works, guys. If you're getting hit with this objection a lot, I need to think about it. You're not creating enough urgency behind the need in your presentation. You're just like, your presentation is probably not great. So if you're getting hit with this objection, there's an issue with how you're presenting to people. All right. And not every presentation, but maybe for whatever reason, you were just off your game when you were talking to Miss Betty. You didn't create urgency, and now you're getting hit with, I need to think about it. So guys, the best way to overcome this objection is to have no pressure. right? I simply say, hey, look, Miss Betty, I totally understand. Look, just, for my reference, if this is within your budget and it's important to you, would you agree that you would want to just put it in place today? Like you wouldn't want to think about it anymore. Because usually what I found when people want to think about it, maybe it's too much money. Maybe they were expecting to get a higher benefit amount for their money. Maybe they're worried about like a spouse or a kid or if someone's going to approve of their decision. What's the reason you need to think about it? And if they're like, well, I just don't know if they're going to tell you, right? They're going to actually tell you, well, Ryan, I seen something on TV and it looked cheaper. So I just kind of want to shop around a little bit. Boom. Now I've got the real objection. Or they're going to say, well, Ryan, I've been tight on money and I know I told you I could afford like $80, but that's going to kind of be tough for me. Now I have the real objection, right? So I need to think about it is something that you guys have to get to the bottom of. You've got to figure out what are they actually wanting to think about and be a friend to them. No pressure. Don't try to push past this objection. Really figure out what do they need to think about so that you guys can think about it together. Because a lot of times, guys, the difference between you getting the deal and not getting the deal is an extra sentence. It's an extra explanation that you have to give that you didn't give. Maybe they wanted to research the carrier you're telling them about before they sign up for it. You could do that with them. Help them think about it. All right. So that's how you overcome that one. Let's see. We'll do one more and then we'll wrap it up. It's 9:32. All right. I need to talk to my kids. This is a big one. And it's a real one. Guys, if you're sitting with somebody that I would say is 75 years old or older, I automatically assume that they need to talk to their kids. All right. If I'm in their house and I see pictures of their family, pictures of the kid, my lead is telling me about how they do everything with their son and their son lives right up the road or whatever it is, I'm assuming they're going to want to talk to their kids. So as I get into the application process, I'm going to take this objection off the table instantly. Hey, Miss Betty, look, now I know you probably are going to want to talk this over with your kids, your family, right? Your son you were telling me about. My homework's to work on getting you approved. Your homework is to talk it over with them. And then, hold on, little buddy. Sorry, my little one is jumping in here on me. I need to talk to my kids. Come here, dude. Come here. What? Go on. Go to mommy. He just got done playing in the snow. So lastly, guys, I need to talk to my kids. You want to tell them to talk to their kids before this becomes an objection. If you wait to get hit with this, it's hard to overcome it. You're going to have to try to call the kid. You're going to have to explain it to the kid, right? It's very difficult to beat this objection once you get hit with it. So you want to anticipate this one. If you think even for an ounce that your lead's going to tell you they need to talk to their kid, which you should have figured out through the presentation because they were talking about their kid. Simple. Hey, Ms. Betty, some homework for you. I need you to talk this over with your son, explain it to him, give him my phone number so I can explain it to him. And then what I'm going to do is work on getting you approved. And in like 2 weeks, when you get your booklet in the mail, call me. I'm going to come review it with the both of you. Fair enough? You're never going to get hit with this objection again. So guys, that's all I got for you. All right. It's Monday. I know some of you are snowed in. That doesn't mean that you can't make a sale today. Let's hop on those phones, start dialing those leads, lock down some telesales. If you are out there in the field today, hustling in this cold weather, go get it. It's a great day to have a great day. Appreciate you guys for jumping on here.